If you become president and you take Air Force One and you landed at Area 51 and then you take the drive to S4 and you grab that technology and you say, we're going to start using 0-point energy at this point, we don't have any more problems with asteroids slamming into us because we can fucking destroy them.
This goes back to a theory
with a laser.
This goes back to a theory I have, is that our species as a whole, I mean, we're not proactive. It takes, just like individuals, it takes a certain amount of pain, a threshold of pain, to do something about it.
Right.
You know, until we have the actual tangible imminent threat, stuff like that's not going to come up. But until we do, I guarantee you'll see the whole world be like, hey guys, we're brother, sister, we'll figure this out. It's like, where were you fucking 10 minutes ago? Fucking pissing in my bathroom. Like let's get on the bandwagon now. Let's go. I know it's a really bad fucking parable there, but
no, but you're right.
Like, there's people like fighting for food, and we're arguing over like urinals in Oregon. It's like, God, use the $150 million that's costing to do to go feed some people in Africa. Like,
so no, what did you mentioned that at lunch? You said people in Oregon are pulling their urinals.
Yeah, I just read some article that there's a suit at some, I don't know if it's a federal building or state building, but there's some building where there was a suit for them to remove all urinals because it was, I don't know, sexist or something. And the article too, they
could repurpose them.
It was kind of scary too, because it was like
artificial intelligence.
It was like to the effect of
urinals are toxic masculinity.
Well, it was to the like the tone of the reporter was to the effect of, you know, just an old artifact for when we thought male and female were different entities. It's like, we got asteroids coming. We got like cancer. Like, what are you arguing about this shit? Go fucking look over here, dude.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't have their own blights or their own like trials or tribulations.
It must be nice when the worst thing you have to worry about is a fucking urinal.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reality is there are more things that we need to worry about besides the fucking urinals.
No, not for them. They're good.
If your worst year is worrying about a urinal,
then shut the fuck up about everything else.
Go live where I lived in Africa for a year and come back and talk to me.
Don't ever say anything bad about anything else in the world other than urinals or less.
When you go live in a place where they, like, I'm gonna get a little personal here. When they strap 11-year-old girls with suicide vests with ceramic ball bearings, and I'm not even kidding you, and go clack them off in markets, like that's where I have a hard time swallowing the argument about urinals. It's like, we as a species, we have to start speaking in terms of we.
Yeah.
Like, we have bigger issues.
Yeah, we do.
Forget your little urinal stuff. Like, go pee in the woods for all I care. Like, there's innocent lives at issue here.
Yeah. Yeah, and the survival of the species, period. Because here's the other thing, is that we are influencing with overfishing, at least, and with resource wasting, and with pollution of our rivers and streams and waterways. We are killing the wildlife that supports our existence on this planet en masse.
And we are nature.
And
people forget that we are nature.
We are nature. And by the way, you know, I had a discussion with the mushroom guy at the last Science and Non-Duality conference that I went and spoke at.
He sounds like a fun guy.
Paul Stamets. Yeah, I had a discussion with Paul Stamets.
You ruined my joke, Ben.
Sorry.
No, Ben.
So he said he said this. He said, you know, the bees are dying. And he's an amazing mycologist, by the way, but he also designed a mushroom additive to honey water to feed honeybees food so that they could fly around, but that cured them of this virus that was limiting their pollination from 9 days down to 4 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like bad bee wing disease or something.
Yeah, it basically made the wings smaller.
Yeah.
He figured out a way to add the mushrooms to the water for the feeders, but then all the wasps were coming and eating the food and chasing off the bees. So then he designed a top for the water feeding device that only honeybees would be able to traverse, because wasps won't go inside and crawl around, you know, a maze. And so he created a maze for the honeybees to crawl in and go get the food so that only the honeybees would be fed from this large water device with the mushroom food inside of it. And if you want to go find out more about that, search for Paul Stamets, Stamets, and bees, and I'm sure you'll find it. And so he's single-handedly helping to save the honeybee population because
he's someone that needs to be added to the unsung heroes of the world.
Yes, and he said to me at a bar, after the last bee dies, 2 years later the last human dies.
Yeah, and that's not an opinion. That's
a fact.
Scientific consensus.
Yeah, that is a projection that is
Benjamin
based
Franklin, I think, said something to that effect too. Actually.
Yeah.
I think you said what kind of bees make milk. Boobies.
I believe Benjamin Franklin said, "You know, God loves us and wants to be happy because He gave us beer.
He wants to be happy."